Alright, welcome to the video. So in the last week or so, I've been asked a lot about PCOS and COVID-19, coronavirus. Like, am I at an increased risk of getting it? So I spent the last week really researching this so I could make this video to give you the information you need or are maybe looking for in this time, because we've really, as a society, not been through anything like this in our generation. So there's a lot of anxiety out there, there's a lot of fear out there. And if you add on top of that a condition like PCOS and you hear about PCOS, inflammation, immune system, you might be thinking, well, am I at an increased risk here? So let's separate fact from fiction. Let's see what the actual evidence says, and hopefully then it'll give you a little bit of peace of mind. So coronaviruses are a family of viruses. We had an outbreak in 2001 or 2003 with SARS. So COVID-19, coronavirus 19, is just a new version of this coronavirus, and they cause respiratory infections. So other respiratory infections are like the flu, influenza, tonsillitis, laryngitis. So the symptoms of this coronavirus so far have been a fever, a cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, and tiredness. But when we're talking about PCOS and coronavirus here, it's largely coming from women with PCOS. I know I've heard in the news that coronavirus and the immune system, and I've heard PCOS and the immune system. So what's the go here? So of course, there's been zero research on this because this coronavirus, COVID-19, is brand new. It was only first discovered in December. So what's that, 3 months ago? So obviously, there's been very, very little research on this. And really, I have spent the last week researching. I found zero research on PCOS and influenza. So there's just no scientific research done on this. So it's hard to really dig into actual answers here. So what will happen here is the virus will infect you, and then your immune system will try and fight it off, which for most people who will get COVID-19, your immune system will do that successfully. But what we've heard with PCOS is a number of women with PCOS have chronically elevated inflammation. Inflammation is an immune system response. COVID-19, PCOS, inflammation, immune system. That's where the links come from. But chronic inflammation doesn't necessarily mean you have a weak immune system, which means you're at a greater risk or higher risk of having complications from COVID-19 if you get it. And many women with PCOS do not suffer from chronic inflammation. But let's look at coronavirus, right? Let's look at the risk factors for coronavirus. Firstly, it's age. There was a big study done so far in China. They found the average ages of people that passed away from coronavirus was 69. We found that 48% of the people who passed away from coronavirus had a comorbidity. That means something else, an underlying health issue. They found that 30% of them had high blood pressure, hypertension, and 19% of them had diabetes. I think it was 8% also had heart disease. So as we can see here, well, they're comorbidities of PCOS as well, because many women with PCOS will have type 2 diabetes, many women with PCOS have high blood pressure. So I don't see PCOS specifically being an increased risk factor, but if you have some of these underlying health issues, that could be a risk factor. But PCOS itself, there is no evidence to suggest there is. But what can we do about coronavirus? Well, of course, things that weaken your immune system, stress, which is incredibly hard at the moment because these are uncertain times. If you're closing your business or losing your job or just worried about yourself getting this or your friends getting this, like, stress levels are going to be up. So you want to be doing anything you can to reduce your stress levels. That's why I wanted to make this video, to give you a bit of a clearer picture here, because the unknown is extremely scary. Smoking drastically reduces your immune system, which is one of the reasons why they're looking at Italy having had such a high mortality rates, because they have a high rate of smokers in that country. Underactivity, not being active enough. So even when we're on lockdown, if you can get out in your backyard or go out for a walk, keep to yourself, of course, but you don't want to be not getting enough exercise. A poor diet, still important. Even when you're on lockdown, try and eat as healthy as possible, and also limit your alcohol consumption, because alcohol can lower your immune system as well. And what you should be doing is that common advice right now: social distancing. Try to avoid crowds. Try to avoid getting in people's really personal space. You want to be keeping a distance. Good hygiene, washing your hands, disinfecting things, disinfecting surfaces that you're touching, and also as much as you can, stay at home. Listen to the government guidelines because they're just trying to help. It's just no one has been here before, really. So I hope this video shed a little bit of light for you. PCOS, I don't see it as being a direct risk factors, but some of these comorbidities that you may have with your PCOS are potential risk factors. But look, I wouldn't be stressing because I have PCOS and it's going to be worse for me. There's just no evidence to suggest that's true. And in these times right now, there's enough things to stress about. So let me know if you have any questions at all. Let me know what's your experience been so far. Are you on lockdown? Has your job, your business, friends, your family? Let me know below. And as always, I'll see you in our next video.